What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to bring you guys one of the most underrated trips formations in Madden 22. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So like I said, man, this is one of the most underrated trips formations, and this is the gun trio Y flex. So playbooks that this is found in. So I'm currently in the Bears playbook, which I believe is actually a really underrated playbook. So it's found in the Bears, the Giants, and the Broncos playbook. Those are the only three playbooks that it's found in, and I am in the Bears playbook. So let's go in and get started with this. So personnel, honestly, it doesn't really matter. Now I prefer you probably just have your second best receiver right here, and then put your first with your best receiver right here. So you'll see why I like that little combo, and also it helps to have a pretty good tight end. It's definitely not needed, but it just helps. So let's go and talk about why I like this. So plays they have that are interesting to me. So this RPO zone is actually pretty good, and I'm gonna show you how I like to utilize that. I'm not a fan of the shock H option. Well, it depends on what they're doing, and I'll get into that. But curl flat, I love it. This is actually a play you're gonna come out in, and they also have back quick base. They have dagger. They have the slide out that I like, and they also have, of course, PA crossers. So as far as my audibles, I like slide out, I like RPO, which you can substitute for halfback base if you want. They have dagger and they have PA crossers, so that's how my audibles would look using this offense. And also, you want to come out into curl flat. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that I do have gameplay, so I'm only going to show you a couple setups, and then I'm actually going to walk you through how I was running this offense in game. So hope you guys do like that. So let's go and go to dollar. Now, all I did was pretty much put safeties at the linebacker position, and I substituted just some garbage defensive line so I can actually have just a tiny bit of time. So let's actually just come out and cover three. So one thing you want to know is that you want to run this offense with your three receivers to the wide side of the field. That's going to give you just the best chance of everything. So my favorite standard setup out of this play is take X, put them on a streak, and then take circle, put them on a drag just like this. And it's really just a nice read. A lot of times you just want to wait for triangle, or you can have R1 in that gap. So it all depends on where the user is going. And quickly, I'm just going to talk about it real quick and to replay, is that we all know it's just a crosser route. So triangle does do a great job of getting right here. Now, of course, he only turned just because the ball was thrown at that point. See, the ball was already thrown, but you'll have that dot on the sideline if the user does not want to go follow. And if they play a standard cover three, then that hook zone is going to stay up top, and that's what allows us to have this open throw right there. So regardless, we're going to have to make the user choose. Now, one thing I do want to show you is that the difference. So this is curl play, right? So watch what happens when we go to dagger, right? So you see how now he is on the crosser. So let's go back to curls. So you see how this person's on the crosser. So the reason I like that, because if they start trying to play too much man coverage, or they start trying to man up. So let's say you wanted to run dagger, right? And let's say they started saying, okay, well, I'm a man up circle since that's the one doing the crosser. So that's why we actually have this play right here to where we'll switch it up. So it's just a nice switch up. So all these setups are going to look similar. It's just these two are just changing between who's running a crosser and who's doing what. So another one of my setups I like is just take an X, put them on a streak, take square, put them on a slant, and then go ahead and motion that guy across. And now this is just a simple read and play to where circle's going to widen everything out. We'll have square, or we can wait on R1 to come through the backside, or we can have that crosser if they don't want to cover. So already we're giving the opponent a lot to worry about. So quickly, I want to talk about the RPO play, and then there's one more play I want to talk about, then we'll be diving right to gameplay. So with this play, of course, you know, you can throw circle, and keep in mind they do throw it upfield, and actually in game, I actually throw a pick six. You'll see that here in a second, because I forgot they throw the ball upfield when they throw these pass plays. But make sure you do remember that if you're on current gen, they do not throw the ball, you know, out to the sideline like it seemed like it should. But one thing I do like about this is this route right here. If they don't have a hard flat over there, you can actually have X pretty much as soon as I say that, they swat the ball. But under normal circumstances, you'll have that X route almost every single time, to be honest with you. It's actually the only way they can really stop it is if playing hard flats, or they man up X. So hopefully I can actually do a great job. There we go. So that's what it's going to look like in game. It's great on like 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s, and they're not playing hard flat. It's perfect. And if they start doing hard flats, then guess what? We'll just run one of these crosser routes. So we'll run like something like dagger, or we'll run PA crossers. Like we'll start, you know, open up the playbook that way. So if you notice they're not putting a hard flat, I love to come to this play right here. And also keep in mind, you can hand this ball off too. Don't be scared to hand it off. Wow, I did not mean to do that. I accidentally held X. That happens a lot to me actually. So don't make that mistake. Don't hold X, because you know sometimes some replays you have to hold X to let them keep it. So don't do that. Just don't press anything, and then you know they'll just hand the ball off like that. So don't make the mistakes that I made. So last play I want to go over is actually slot out. So with slot out, there's actually two setups that I really love. So on one of them, just take square, put them on a smoke screen, and then you run it just take circle and smart route as route. Just like this, and it's pretty much just a flood concept. So you just want to make a read. So you see right here, circle is going to get open right there. Why? Because the flat defender fell down on our hitch route. So that's one way I love to run that play. And the last way I love to run it is actually just taking triangle, put him on a flat route, take circle, put him on a curl, and then take X and put him on a curl just like this. So this is just a spacing concept. So you're just basically going to make a simple read. You can tell square is going to be the one that's open right there, and we also have R1 on the flats. So you're just basically seeing where the user's going to go. Now, if they play man coverage, which I'll talk about here in a second, versus the spacing concept, then what you're going to look for is actually you want to look for either circle or X on a curl route, because curls are going to beat man coverage. So right here, a lot of times you'll have X right there, and then you'll be able to low bite a lot of times. But let's go in and hop into gameplay. All right, so right here you can tell we are going against the Cardinals, and this game right here was absolutely crazy. So I actually did not want to run this setup. It was actually an accident. I put the wrong person on the drag, but you can tell it's still really nice. Now with this setup, you want to take circle, put them on a streak. Now this is that shot play I was telling you about. So this is actually going to be a cover 2 bomb. I may actually come back and do another video on this formation. It just depends on how well this video does. I haven't really decided yet, but right there is what I was trying to tell you, is that X route, if they don't put a hard flat or they don't man it up, even sometimes if they play off man, you could throw that. The only time you can't throw that is if they play like a hard flat or they actually play man press. Then at that point you don't want to call that. But right here, this is my basic setup. Now it's actually really good. You see R1 was going to be open, but JJ Watt just can't be blocked because the Falcons have nobody on their offensive line. So yeah, so they have JJ Watt and they have Chandler Jones. So really tough. So right here, this is one of my favorite man beating setups. So R1, just put him on an option route, motion over a slant, and then right there I should have actually threw Calvin really over the top, but I was just being, you know, dumb. I should have just waited half a second, but I felt like I had pressure, but I pretty much had time to make that throw. But right here, this is actually dagger. So with dagger, I like motion over triangle and putting him on a streak, and then taking X, putting him on a drag, and just running this setup right here. Now I did smart route that in route just in case I had time, but as you could tell, I just didn't have time. Now I want y'all to look at square. Square was open, but also R1. The reason I like that dagger, because he actually does a block and release whenever they blitz, and it actually almost makes like a delay fade with my running back, which is actually pretty unique. So that's why I really love it. So right here, this is actually one of my other setups. Just take X, put him on a streak, take circle, put him on an in route, and also this is the curls play that I was telling you about. And right there, I know that was risky, but I knew that was a linebacker. Yes, it's Isaiah Jones. Wait, Isaiah one of them, but Simmons, Isaiah Simmons. So it was Isaiah Simmons. So I just figured I'd try it. But right here, this is the spacing play. No, this is the flood concept I was telling you about. So all we're doing is making a read. If they have a hard flat, we don't throw it. If they don't have a hard flat, we throw that. So right there, you see me make the same mistake in practice mode where I hold X to try to give it. So don't do that. Just when you run that RPO play, just literally, if you want to keep the ball, just let go of the controller. You know, don't press anything, or you actually will throw the ball by accident. So yeah. So right here, this is actually one of my other favorite setups too. Just want to take square, put them on a drag, motion them over, of course, with X on a streak. Now right there, I actually missed my read. Tried to force it. Stupid play by me. I should have just threw it right out the break. And you actually can throw that running back route right out the break. So right here, again, this is just spacing concept. So this play is good because if they run any match coverage, a lot of times you'll actually get a man match with square on the safety, and a lot of times he will actually beat his man. So you seen it was open the first time. Second time I was actually able to make the throw, and that's Russell Gage versus Buda Baker. So that should be able to tell you. So right here, this is the play I was telling you about practice mode. So for one, I forgot they pass led up the field, but for two, I seen my person sitting out there blocking. He actually didn't block anybody. I figured he was going to block him, so that's why I went ahead and threw it. But he just didn't do anything, and you know, I guess great play by my opponent. I'm just kind of mad that my receiver just didn't block anybody. But regardless, though, he did get a little pick six. So right here is gonna be a dot right there. So the reason I like that, because out routes beat man coverage, we all know that. So the only way he can stop that is putting a purple right there. And if he wants to put a purple right there, then cool, you know, then we'll do something else to exploit what he's doing. So right here is another one of my basic setups. So just take X, put him on a streak, take triangle, put him on a in route. And normally, if you have enough time in the pocket, you'll create pretty much a flood concept. But this is a setup that I already gave you guys. Take an X, put him on a zig, triangle on the in route. And normally I like to block my running back just like that. So with this play, you're just basically making a read between circle and triangle. So right there, he almost did bait me really well because I should have threw circle because he actually just didn't commit to anybody. So I really got fortunate right there. So very, very scary read for me. So right here, this is the spacing concept I was telling you about. So just like I told you, if it's man coverage, X is going to be open. It was some type of match, but look at that. So I'm actually going to let you guys watch this again because it's actually pretty crazy. So I don't know how he even knocked that ball out. So just watch this. So look, I catch the ball, right? I turn upfield and then just knock the ball out. So unfortunate, but I was trying to tell you guys that curl routes can beat man coverage, so don't be scared to throw curl routes in man coverage. So right here, 4th and 2, I probably should have just ran halfback base, but me being me, I like to try to pass the ball, so we are going to go ahead and go to this RPO type of play. And I'm actually looking on X, so actually let me throw X this time. And like I said, if they are playing any type of off coverage and they're not playing hard flats, you can literally throw that every single time, to be honest with you. So right here, we're going to go back to my other favorite setup, just X on a zig, triangle on the in route, block my running back, and then look at JJ Watt. Like, just look, I seen him lighten up immediately, so at that point, I stopped looking deep. So I want to show you guys too, the reason that I use these, you know, pretty bad teams or pretty off meta teams is simply just to show you that, like, you can use this with, you know, any team. So basically, this is actually a spacing concept right there that I was telling you about, but basically what I'm saying is, yes, I could sit here and load up with, you know, the Chiefs, I could load up with the Packers, I could load up with who's a top tier offensive team, Cardinals, so I could load up with all these teams, but I want to show you guys that you can use any team, you know. So that's the point of this pretty much series, I guess you can call it, or pretty much the point of my channel. So the point of my channel is just giving you guys just schemes that you can run, you know, with any team. You can load up with any team. You don't need some, you know, because there's people online who just literally only use the 49ers, literally only use the Packers, and literally, you know, use just these random teams that are just really good. And you guys don't need that, man. I got y'all, man. So right here, this is another one of my setups that I do like, as I already showed. So just X on the streak, triangle on the drag, and this also is PA crossers. Now, had I had enough time in the pocket, circle was actually going to be open in the back corner of the end zone, but just can't get enough time in the pocket. So right here, 3rd and 3. So I actually decided to actually go with the curls play, and all I did was take X, put him on a streak, and square on the drag. But he was playing cover 4, and he was responsible for that 4th of the field, and I figured that out. And so we just threw a nice laser right there. So just a good heads up play. Now this game is crazy because you see the score is 11-21. So he threw me a pick 6 and a fumble. So I had got a forced fumble for a 6, I believe, or something like that. Something crazy. But right here, R1 is going to be open. That's why I really love that route. And you can tell right there we do get a little sticky, and we are going to move the chain. So you see we are 17 for 23. So like I said, we're really doing good, honestly. Just showing you guys that it's just simple reads, and it's not like he's some scrub or anything. You see he's moving around, he's adjusting, he's audibling, you know, he's doing a lot for his defense. He's not just coming out in stock stuff. So this is why, you know, I like giving you guys just condensed gameplay and just showing you how I use this live, because it's not always, you know, the defenses I go over in practice mode. That's not the point of it. So it's the point of just showing you, hey, this is open versus this is open versus that, and it's still up to you to make reads. So I'm just simply showing you how I make reads, and just look at that. That is absolutely crazy right there to be. But anyways, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. I do want to show you this one play though. So like, this game is crazy. Like at this point, I already had 2 defensive touchdowns, and then boom, look at that, and then we end up getting it back for a 3rd touchdown, which is absolutely crazy. I don't even blame him for quitting though. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real. I'm gonna wait for it quick, and I'm out.